welcome back to Linda Tina TV. If you're new to my channel, hello there. Do not forget to subscribe and stay tuned to more videos. In this video, I'll be talking about mothering abroad. So mothering in Europe, Italy, where I live, compared to mothering back home in Africa, Uganda, where I come from. I'll start right from the beginning. So when I had my first child, I was 25, a few days to my 26th birthday, and I realized that every time I told people my age, they looked at my bump and they thought, you're so young to be having a baby. And even now, when I tell people I'm in my 20s and I have 2 babies, they, give me a surprised look. Oh, you're having kids quite early. Because in Europe, women have kids much later, in their 30s, late 30s, even early 40s, which is different. Back home, 20s are like the ideal age to have kids. Actually, in your 30s, people will start asking, when are you having a baby? So for me, it was normal to be having a baby at 25, to have 2 kids now that I'm almost 30. So back home in Uganda, when you have a baby, they're gonna put you on this special diet for like the first 3 months or even more. So you're going to have a bowl of porridge in the morning, and then you're going to have a bowl of soup after every nursing session. They just keep feeding you. You have to be on a special diet to have more breast milk, to recover from the whole pregnancy and the whole childbirth thing. So that is something that does not really exist here. Like when I had my baby, you go back to your normal diet and eat like everybody else. You're not eating anything, out of the norm or eating special foods. Well, okay, there are a few things you're gonna eat to help with the breast milk, but back home, they really feed you after you've had a baby. So very many women actually put on weight after they've had a baby because you're home and you have all these relatives, friends, family feeding you all day long. Another difference is that here in Italy, when women have babies, like 3 days, 5 days post-baby, they're out walking and going on about their lives and taking the kids out. So we're advised from hospital to take out the kids every single day to breathe fresh air, to just be out and feel the new environment. In Africa, you don't take out small babies. You cover them up, put hats on, put socks on, and just keep them in the house covered up, and forget that it's 30 degrees down there. They just cover up the kids. Out here, they just tell you, open the kids, take them out, let them breathe. So I found that really different. In the beginning with my first baby, I was skeptical. I didn't want to take my baby out when he was just a week old, and my mother-in-law kept calling me, so are we going out for a walk? Are we taking out the baby? And I'm thinking, I just had a baby. I'm supposed to be at home, just seated, eating the special diet. No, it doesn't work like that out here. Help. Now that is one of the things I miss most about being in Uganda. In Africa, there's always so much help, and when you've just had a child, they feel like you shouldn't be doing anything. You shouldn't be cleaning. You shouldn't be carrying the baby because you just had a little child. So you need to rest. You need to recover. There'll be relatives to help you. Your whole family is gonna be there, reach out. And even if you don't have so much family to help you, it's not so expensive to have a living house help to help you carry things around and do all these little things while you sit back and rest. Here you have to do every single thing on your own. Okay, you could have help from your husband, from some in-laws, but you do most of the things yourself, so you don't have that much help. You kind of have to do everything yourself. In Uganda, you will have someone help you carry the baby even at night after you've nursed that baby and you need rest. You've not slept for days. You'll have someone to just help you carry the baby for an hour or something so that you can, lay down a little bit. And that is one thing I honestly miss about being home. Now, because you don't have so much help, I've realized that mothers out here are more organized, so they run on routines. You have a time to do each and every activity of the day, even of the week. back home in Uganda, we kind of do things all over the place because you're not doing everything yourself. So if need be, someone will come in and help. So you don't need to plan each and every second of your day. And I'll be honest, I like the organized way of doing things because then you have time to yourself. You don't have to be doing stuff like the whole day because you didn't plan ahead. So yeah, out here in Europe, mothers are more organized than back home. But we are picking up because mothers back home have realized that it's easier if you organize your day and kind of plan ahead. Then you have time to yourself and time to do, other things. Like I mentioned, you're going to have extended family, friends, even the neighbors coming in to help you. And this, I have realized, makes mothers less involved in the lives of their children back home in Uganda. So women out here, mothers out here are more involved in the lives of their children because they spend every single minute with them. So you're feeding your child, you're bathing your child, you're taking your child to school, you're picking them up, you're taking them for a walk, you're taking them for their games or sports or whatever. You are fully in their lives. Back home, you'll have someone pick them up from school for you, and then you'll have someone feed them for you, and then your mom will bathe them, and then so you have help and people helping you do all these things. I think that makes you not that much involved in the child's life, which is a bit different out here. Disciplining. In Africa, we have a saying that it takes a village to raise a child. So back home, if your child misbehaves and there's an auntie, there's an uncle, even a neighbor, a close neighbor, they will tell them off. They will discipline them. They will tell them what you're doing. You cannot do that. So everyone is involved in disciplining children back home. This parenting thing is done jointly. I remember when we were younger and would, be naughty, my mom would send us to my uncle's house and tell us, you know what, you're spending the holiday at your uncle's house. And while we were there, my uncle was disciplining us. You're not gonna do this, you're not gonna do that, you're gonna read at this time, you're gonna have to study. So she sent us there to be disciplined where she felt like we were too much. She would send us to an uncle, or they could send you to a grandmother. So the disciplining is done jointly. And then we are more strict on rules, like maybe even a bit too rigid. But in Africa, rules are rules. And the elders set the rules. You don't have to argue, you don't have to talk back, it doesn't matter. And sometimes they're wrong, but once the elder speaks, that's it. And no arguments, no questions asked. The parents are the bosses. So once they say you're going to sleep at 5, you will sleep at 5. It doesn't matter that the sun is still out. But yeah, disciplining is really different out here in Europe and back in Africa. This video is not meant to compare which mothering is better than the other. This is my experience living abroad, living away from home, and the different things I have noticed, So share with me your stories about mothering and parenting out of your home country and what differences you've seen, Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, leave me a comment and like if you enjoyed. Bye-bye.